Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we will see how to create the section scroll snap effect. So you can see as I scroll down, even if I scroll a little bit, either the section is always try to fill completely the screen. So if I scroll a bit down, it complete my scroll to get the experience of full screen design. Basically, I create this effect back in the day of Editor X, like 2 years ago, um, and everything's changed then. So also this was I used Velo, I used code to create it, and this time I was managed to create it very quickly with no code, which is amazing. Um, but this is especially for story jokes who asked me to create an update version on Wix Studio. So let's do it. So I won't be focused on design, only about functionality. So let's create it from scratch in a new page. All right, so the layout part is the most important one. Okay, let me turn off coding. All right, so if you in this specific design, because every item looks exactly the same almost, so it will be the best if you will design a one item and then duplicate it. So we will start by adding a container, okay? And as usual, I'm always working with the sizing with always advanced mode on. All right, advanced sizing. So the most important thing is that our design will be always fit to the entirely to the screen. So you can see if I scroll even a little bit down, I can start to see the section below it. Okay, so again we are going back to talk about 100 VH, which is the dynamic value for 100% of the screen height. Because I have this banner, so I need to reduce this amount of pixels from my screen height. So basically I should set here height as 100 VH, okay, which is full screen experience, but I need to reduce my my banner pixels, which is 50 pixels. If you have premium site, you don't need to do it, but instead of putting like 100 VH as a solid number, I'll do it in the minimum height. The reason is because I want to sorry, no, my mistake. I'll go to the height, okay, but it should be 100 VH minus 50 pixels. All right, but this is important for you to troubleshooting or to understand what's going on. We don't need the scale option, okay, but I think that it's important for you to set the overflow content to scroll, okay, because if you have content that is outside of this container by mistake, so you won't be able to see it, okay, because it will be below right there. So just for the time when you building your design, okay, just give an example. If I push this to be 120%, so I cannot see it, but I can scroll to see it. Okay, this is the idea. Because I know exactly what I'm doing, so I'll go, I don't need it. I don't need the overflow. I'll keep it to show or hide, whatever you like. Okay, so we are talking about full screen experience. So basically the width will be 100%, which is 100% from its own parent, which is the section. So this will be the main wrapper. Okay, so let's call it main scroll snap wrapper. Okay, this naming is just to be clear, not, there is no special meaning to it. All right, so this is the first one. I'll also remove, you know what, let's keep it just for now. So now and so now instead of I'm using layouter to create this effect. But first of all, we need exactly the same item, okay, for each design. Okay, so now we created the wrapper, and now I'll duplicate it, but just before I'll make sure that I don't have minimum height for the row, because you see this is a common mistake. So you have a minimum height of 600 pixels, so I need to change it to 1FR. All right, so now we are set. Now I can duplicate it, okay, and immediately I will give it a different name. This one will be the item content wrapper. Okay, so this is a single item, maybe single item content wrapper. Okay, so inside this container, which is inside this container, I'll create my design. For this example, I'll change it to blue. Okay, and I'll drag an image. My design currently is containing only image. Okay, and I'll stretch it. You can choose whatever design that you like. Okay, and I'll create a big title, and I'll call it big title. Okay, and let's set it to center and make it a big title, and let's set it to center. Okay, something like this. This is our design. We don't need to do anything else. But before we will apply this effect, best practice for you is to make sure that it looks exactly as you want it to be for each breakpoint. Okay, for example, here I want to choose that the title will be on the top, and I'm happy with it. All right, so this is my design. So now, and this is the biggest trick that I found, and the easiest way to create this effect. So you need to go to layout tools, and the last one to Flexbox. Okay, so let's drag, not drag because it will go into the container. So I'll just click to edit. It should be a child of the section. Okay, so so now what I need to do, basically I need to switch it from, instead of mosaic, it should be slider, and it should go to be from top to bottom. Okay, this is the trick basically. So the trick is that I'm going to set the scroll snap to start. Okay, so if I'll go quickly to preview, this is the effect that we are going to use. So you can see that if I scroll a bit up, it completes my scroll, right? So this is exactly what we are going to achieve. But instead of doing it like small like this, we will fill the entire screen with this Flexbox. So now I need to take this Flexbox and put it inside our main scroll snap wrapper. Okay, so I'll just cut it select the main scroll snap, which is behind this design, and paste it right there. Now it is a child of the main scroll snap, and I can simply stretch it. Okay, so now it's behind this single item. You can see, okay, let's talk about it in a second. So now I'll take my design that it's already designed for each breakpoint, and I will cut it. Actually, I could do it much better if I create this design in different section, and then I won't have these overlapping layers. But anyway, so I'll cut it, okay, and I'm selecting the first item that I have right here. You can see it has minimum height of 140 pixels. Let's remove its background color. So now we see the Flexbox, sorry, this gradient, this color. So if I change it, now you can see this is the main skull snap wrapper color. So I'll select the first item and paste it inside. Okay, and I need to make sure that it's aligned properly, left, top. It can be also to the center, but you can see the height is 100 VH minus 50 pixels, and the row height is 1 FR. Okay, the column is not that important. It also should be 1 FR basically. Okay, so what do we have until now? By the way, you can delete all the rest of the items. You need only one for this step. So we have a section. Inside this section we have the main skull snap wrapper. It's a container with its own height, okay, and it doesn't have a minimum row height, and that's it. Inside of it we have the Flexbox, which is set to be a slider, top to bottom, and skull snap to start. Okay, you can toggle this on and off, whatever you like, the scroll bar. And then we have a single item that the height should be none, I think, the minimum height, and the row also should be 1 FR. Same for the column. Okay, so this is a single item, and then inside of this single item we have our design, basically a single item design. I call it single item content wrapper. Okay, so now all we need to do is to duplicate this item. So I can simply go to duplicate, and then let's change this. This is a bigger, maybe it's too big, so let's change it to 150. 120. Okay, this is also okay. So we have a big title, we have a bigger title, and I can change the image to something else. So let's choose this one, for example. But you can see that we have gaps here between that. We see the background color of the main wrapper, the green one. So the reason is that you can set gaps between items to Flexbox. So I simply go to the gaps and make it 0. So now we don't have any gap. Okay, so now let's do it again, and let's select the item. Okay, and let's duplicate it. You can duplicate a single item, or you could go to the Flexbox and add an item, but I want to have exactly the same design. So I'll click Command D. So I have now another one. Let's change its image to something else for this one, and this will be the biggest. The biggest title. All right, and let's change its color to be white. No, it's not good. Let's keep it that way. Okay, so let's see what we have until now. So let's publish the website, and this is not the right page, so let's go to SEO. Bam. Okay, so this is what we have. So you can see that it does work. As I scroll down, it's complete my scroll right away. Okay, but we have two problems here. Okay, the first one is that this header is overlap my, so it's not overlapping, it's actually taking parts of the where my section start, the Flexbox is starting, right? So you can see as I scroll down, we still see parts of that is below my section, right? We don't need it. So the way to overcome it is by setting the header to be pinned. Okay, so the default position it can be to be pinned, or we can use negative margin to this main scroll snap wrapper. Okay, same as the height of this header. So if this one is 72 pixels, so we can use minus 72 pixels. Okay, so now it's actually on top of the header, so we can go to the layers and set arrange, where is it, bring to front, and now it's on top of it. Okay, so let's publish it to see the results. Why it's taking so much time to refresh. All right, so now it's work perfectly. I think that I'm missing like 1 pixels. Oh, I think it's good. All right, so actually it's working amazingly. But the second issue is that look what's happened when the footer is come into viewport. Okay, so I've reached to the end of the page, but if I scroll here, you see the footer is kind of stuck, right? Basically because I'm scrolling inside this Flexbox. So it will be much more noticeable if I'll make it higher. Okay, so let's set the section to be, I don't know, 300 pixels. Okay, something like this. All right, so let's see how it looks. Not refreshed yet. Okay, anyway. Okay, now it's refreshed. So you can see that I reached to the bottom of the page, but now if I'll scroll here, so I'm missing a lot of my design. Only when I reach to the top of the page, it's called back to its own position. So this one, we need to fix with a little code, okay? Super tiny code. So the idea is that I want to say that each time one of these items is come into the viewport, I want you to complete my to scroll to the Flexbox itself. Okay, and this will should fix our positioning when we are scrolling outside of the Flexbox. So the code looks like this. What's happened? Where is the image? No. Oh, it's just that it looks like I don't have internet. Anyway, the code it looks like this. I have it on the home page. Okay, so I'll copy it and I explain what it does. Okay, so let's do it properly. So function init scroll section scroll snapping. Maybe scroll snap. I hope this is how you write it. Snap. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So this is our code. So let's not forget, we need to call this function. Okay. So here I'm selecting the Flexbox. So let's call it slider Flexbox. Okay. So this one is the Flexbox itself. So let's select it. It's this one. And we need to change its ID, to update its ID. Okay, to this ID, slider Flexbox. So this line is that we are selecting the Flexbox and then we are talking about its children. The Flexbox children is all these items. So this Flexbox right now has 3 children. So I'm saying for each child, okay, so this is a single item. You can see this is an item. For each item, okay, so this is loop. It's actually going one by one. So for each one of these, when the item is go into the viewport, on viewport enter, I want you to scroll to the main scroll wrapper. Okay, so let's change, or to the Flexbox itself. I think this is also working. Yeah, so I want you to scroll to yourself, but if this is the scenario, so it's better to do like this. Const slider Flexbox equals to slider Flexbox, and then to call it like this instead of using twice. Okay, so I want to scroll to yourself. Okay, and also I logged here enter to see that this is actually working. Okay, so let's publish it to see if it's working. So let's refresh it. And if we need to see in the console enter, because the first item is in viewport. So you can see I have twice. I don't know why twice. Maybe because it sees some bleeding of the next one. But you can see as I, yeah, you see the third one. No. So you can see each time an element is an item is go into the viewport, I see the log of enter. So look what's happened when I reach to the bottom. Now I see the footer, so it doesn't fix my last item. But if I scroll to the above to the previous item, so it's complete my scroll, and now it's fit exactly to the height of the screen. So let's do it again. You see, it's actually very, very smooth. And now the view is fixed. Amazing. So basically that's it. It's important for me to tell you that basically, I didn't try it, but basically you can achieve exactly the same results if you are using slider repeater. Okay, not slider repeater, sorry. If you're using a repeater that says to be slider, but top to bottom. Okay, again, you can set the scroll snap. I didn't try it, but it should work exactly the same. The benefit of using Flexbox is that you are not committed to a specific layout. Okay, you can put a totally different layout and item for each Flexbox item, but the benefit of repeater is that you can you can connect it to database and it will be dynamic, so you can manage all the content from the CMS and not from the editor. All right, so that's it. I hope this is solve your issue, story jokes, and if it does, let me know. So until next time, keep building amazing websites on Wix Studio.